Most people think feeling lost means they're failing at life, like they missed something, like everyone else got the map, and they didn't. But that's not what being lost actually is. Feeling lost isn't a problem, it's a symptom of growth. It's what happens when an old identity stops working, but the new one hasn't fully formed yet. And that space in between feels terrifying to the mind, because the mind wants certainty, it wants direction, it wants guarantees. But transformation doesn't come with a map. It comes with silence, with confusion, with the feeling that nothing makes sense anymore. And most people interpret that as something going wrong, but nothing is going wrong. What's happening is that the version of you that was built to survive is starting to dissolve. The version that learned how to please, how to perform, how to become acceptable, how to become successful by someone else's standards. And when that structure weakens, you don't feel free at first. You feel empty, lost, disconnected. But emptiness isn't absence. It's space. It's space for something real to emerge. Most people try to escape this phase as fast as possible. They distract themselves. They numb themselves. They rush into the next goal, the next identity, the next version of themselves. Not because they're excited, but because they're uncomfortable with not knowing who they are anymore. But the truth is, not knowing who you are is the doorway to knowing who you are. You can't meet yourself while clinging to who you used to be. That's why growth feels like loss, because something is dying. But what's dying isn't you. It's the false structure that was never really you in the first place, and the mind resists that. The mind calls it failure. The mind calls it being behind. The mind calls it being broken. But existence calls it becoming. There's a reason so many people feel lost right before major internal shifts, not because life is punishing them, but because life is reorganizing them. You're not lost. You're between versions, between who you had to be and who you're becoming. And that in-between space is uncomfortable because it's undefined. But undefined doesn't mean wrong. It means open. It means alive. It means free. Most of your suffering isn't coming from what's happening in your life. It's coming from your resistance to not knowing, from your demand that things make sense right now, from your belief that clarity must come before movement. But clarity doesn't come before movement. Clarity comes from movement, from staying present inside uncertainty, from letting yourself not know, from letting life unfold instead of trying to control it. Nothing about you is broken. Nothing about your timing is late. Nothing about your path is wrong. You are not failing. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are becoming. And becoming doesn't feel like confidence. It feels like confusion. It feels like silence. It feels like the ground disappearing beneath your feet. But what's actually happening is that the false ground is dissolving so something real can form. And that process doesn't feel safe. It feels empty. But emptiness isn't danger, it's possibility. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to find yourself. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to rush. You don't need to force clarity. You only need to stay. Stay present inside the not knowing. Stay soft inside the uncertainty. Stay open inside the confusion. Because what feels like being lost is actually being reorganized at a deeper level than the mind can understand. And one day, quietly, without effort, without forcing, you'll look back and realize you were never lost. You were remembering.